You know,
So now,
enough of this.
when you, after the war, you came, tell us about your experience with the 4th Marine Regiment in Kaneohe, Hawaii, which was my favorite place he was ever stationed. We spent 4 years there, but why don't you share that story?
My final tour of duty was in Kaneohe, which is probably not the worst place in the world. And my last job was the commanding officer of 1st Battalion, 4th Marines. Just 3 weeks ago, we had a reunion of that group in Las Vegas. There were about 80 of the Pineapple Marines gathered together.
And were you the youngest guy there?
I was the oldest person there.
So there's
I'm
some,
probably the oldest person here, too.
so whoa. After World War II, this young man ended up in the Korean War, and I want you to talk about. And he is a Korean War hero. He was one of the chosen few. He was at Pusan, Incheon Landing, and I want to start, and we'll go through this. I know you want to sit down, but you have to talk about.
Don Reed wants to talk about it.
I talked to Don. We know what Don's going to talk about. We're going to talk about.
The mic over to the chair.
Yeah. You want us to bring the mic over to the chair?
No,
Oh, no, once a Marine. Okay. All right, so tell us about the Pusan Landing.
Of course, everybody, I think, knows that on June 25th, the North Koreans attacked South Korea. And by the 1st of August, they had squeezed the South Koreans all the way down to a perimeter around Pusan. If they were able to break through and take Pusan, the communists would have taken South Korea. On 2 August, the 1st Marine Brigade arrived at Pusan, and I can tell you that fear was in the air. They were scared. The 1st Marine Brigade was made up of the 5th Marine Regiment, who had 2 rifle companies per rifle battalion. It was a short group, but they had a composite Marine Air Group and an artillery battalion, and they had control of all that firepower. The 1st Marine Brigade was able to stop the North Koreans through 3 critical breakthroughs during the time they were there. The last one was on the Naktong River for the 2nd time, and on the night of 5 September, the 5th Marines were drawn off the line to get ready to land at Incheon on the 15th of September. If the Marines had not stopped the North Koreans in those 3 critical battles, we'd have lost Korea. So the Marines really saved Korea. And of course, they saved the Marines themselves as a result, because President Harry Truman was on his way to get rid of the Marine Corps at that time.
Okay. And Incheon.
So we boarded ship on the 13th of September. On the same shift, we came out from San Diego and went to Incheon, and we made one battalion made an early morning high tide landing on Wamido Island. The main thrust was at Red Beach, where we landed at 5:30 at high tide, and high tide there is 30 feet. We used ladders to go over a seawall, and we were able to accomplish our objective in 32 minutes. It was an opposed landing. My company had 1/4 of the total division casualties, unfortunately.
And a Medal of Award winner in the middle of there.
Lieutenant Lopez, who you see on the Incheon landing photo, had rejoined the company at Pusan. He was with the company for 6 days. He was in combat for less than 15 minutes. He was killed throwing a grenade at a pillbox. He scooped the grenade under his body as he fell and saved a number of Marines, and it was awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor.
So from there,
From there, we went to Sewell. We reclaimed Sewell. After Sewell, General MacArthur had the grand idea that he was going to reunify Korea, and he didn't think that the Chinese would do anything about it. He was wrong.
and that took you to the Chosin Reservoir.
So we reboarded the ships at Incheon, went around to Wonsan, landed, took a train to Hungnam, took trucks and on foot to the Chosin Reservoir. And in late October, I captured on a patrol the first 2 Chinese. Even with that capture, living Chinese, MacArthur said the Chinese aren't coming in, which was a mistake. They came in force
Okay, so
and
let's
tried to
clarify.
surround the 1st Marine Division.
How many came in? I heard 10 Chinese divisions,
Yes.
120,000 men.
Closer to 300,000 altogether.
And how many Marines were there?
There's about 20,000.
One of the most horrific battles in Marine Corps history.
Actually, the Marines had to fight their way out of the Chosin Reservoir, which they did. And at Hungnam, when they boarded ships, they took over 100,000 North Korean refugees, people fleeing their country.
Wow. And tell me, the temperature at the Chosin Reservoir.
It was very cold.
In fact, you
It got
got
down to 40 degrees minus.
minus 40 degrees, I think. Yeah.
You're up in the hills high, and it's cold.
So I know there's a lot of people here that want to talk about you, Don Reed, and the Korean War Memorial that's being built over the Presidio, something that's very near and dear to my dad's heart. But I also just want to briefly touch on, in civilian life, he has had an amazing career, and I'll just read some of his positions. Chairman and founder of the current American Information Development Company, chairman of Life Equity Information, president of InsureNet, vice chairman of InsureNet, co-founder, chairman, CEO of Centex Telemanagement Company, which, by the way, is a company that my dad founded, took public, that went public before the Black Monday back in 1979?
No, 86.
86. Anyway, this particular IPO is still taught at Harvard and Stanford business schools as the way to run a successful IPO. It did quite well back then, and which is an amazing accomplishment. Founder and chairman of StellarNet, chairman of Industrial Work Hardening Center. You also are the past president of the Pacific Heights Homeowner Association, vice president and founder of the Honolulu Civitan Club, past president of California chapter of the 1st Marine Division Association, vice president, deputy vice president, 1st Marine, and you are board member of the Marines Memorial, past of the Marines Memorial Association, Vantage Med, Collimated Holes, founding president of the Chosen Few Golden Gate chapters, member of the Marine Corps Coordinating Council, and a board member of the USS San Francisco. You may now sit down. Dig in.
Boy, that guy was really a joiner.
I love you, Dad.
Thank you, son.
Mr. Don Reed.
Can I sit?
Is he next? You may sit.
Oh, yeah.
Go right ahead, Colonel. Yeah.